Welcome to the Key to All This with Tim and Dylan. I'm Dylan. What's up, Tim?
Tim, 100%.
You know, it's been a while since I said I'm Tim. I used to do that all the time. Welcome to the Key to All
Yeah,
This
I
with Tim and
know.
Dylan. I'm
But what
Tim.
changed? What changed where you were thinking, man, I got to remember my own name.
You moved
Finally.
you moved a little bit further from me, so I just
Oh,
don't know
that's
who I am
true.
anymore.
Yeah. Well, I understand that. I have that effect when I move away from people. People have amnesia. I'm like a revert. I'm like
I'm
a kid.
Tim.
I'm
I'm Tim.
Tim. Help.
Who is this?
Who am I?
Hello there, Tim.
Well, hello there too, General Dylan. We got a great topic today. We are discussing some pretty amazing
Pretty,
remarks.
pretty.
Pretty good remarks from our favorite non-Curb Your Enthusiasm character,
hmm
Obi Wan Kenobi, portrayed by Ewan McGregor, the actor who said that he'd be willing to return to the character.
Yeah, very exciting because I feel that although the Kenobi show didn't get that great of a reception, it was basically a live action Clone Wars. I'd
Mhm.
definitely say that. It just felt like Clone Wars rather than 4, 5, and 6, or 1, 2, and 3. And that's fine. But it's interesting because his idea was kind of revisiting Clone Wars. Is that something that you feel we need?
I think I don't know if it's something we need, but it would be great to have. I particularly think that covering the romance and death Satine Kryze,
Oh, I thought you were going to say Qui-Gon.
and yeah, if we can have Judd Apatow do a romantic comedy about the two of them, that would be great. No, but I think Satine Kryze
hmm
and going into their relationship also gave a great chance to bring back his, number one nemesis over the years, Darth Maul.
Yeah.
I'd love to see both live action versions. So
hmm
a great way to maximize it while also telling the stories that we're going to see and have been seeing in Mandalorian with the
Yeah.
Kreeses and the Mandalorians in general.
So you feel that after all this time, there's still Clone Wars stories that we need to touch on,
Not need, but want.
but want,
I
and
want to
you
touch
want
it.
you want more romance.
I want more romance. If we're gonna do something with Obi Wan Kenobi, and there's a story that hasn't been told, I'd like a little romance in it, wouldn't you?
Yes.
You're not under deposition. Under the instruction of my lawyer, I've been told not by my counsel. I've been told not to answer that question.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a picture online of someone says, I'm asked a question by the judge. I turn to look at my lawyer who mouths not guilty, and the guy says, hot milky. I appreciate that. I so I want Ewan McGregor back in Star Wars, no matter what. I love sprinkling of little detail to help further 4, 5, and 6. I will always want little things to build 4, 5, and 6 up to be, the main story, which is why I appreciate Kenobi season 1, because we get to see the true switch of Anakin to Darth Vader, where he says
Hmm.
Anakin's dead. And we get another fight scene, and we get to run into Qui-Gon again, and we see Qui-Gon as a Force ghost, which is how Obi-Wan learns this for episode 6. And I appreciate that because I'm doing a rewatch of How I Met Your Mother, and so this is before we get Andor or Rogue One, and Ted
The
and
plot of
Barney.
How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. Well, and in How I Met Your Mother, Barney and Ted are arguing over the plans of the Death Star.
Okay,
And they're
gotcha. Okay.
saying that someone was essentially incompetent at their job. And they just kind of build on that of like this guy, what, did you not think that they were going to get this or whatever, or someone accidentally gave the plans, and their take on it was different from what we know now. It was specifically built to have
With a flaw,
access
yeah.
to have this flaw. And I was thinking that I love having this stuff explained in movies. I think Rogue One is the best thing Disney's done. And it's not a story that we need, but it's a story I didn't know I wanted. And while I could have lived with the fact that maybe someone built this incorrectly, or, oh, lost my plans, how do we deal with this? We actually got a more in-depth story of why this happened. So I don't think that there's anything that could be added to the Clone Wars for me to really build on Star Wars as a whole, rather than, cool, we get some great scenes with Ewan McGregor, who should 100% come back, and I don't care what he does, I'll watch it. But I want to see what happens between season 1 and episode 4. We can still get that buddy cop of Qui-Gon and Obi Wan together, but I want to see a tie-in with Andor. I want to see how Obi Wan aged 20 years in 5 years. I want to see that. I feel like if Ewan's already this age and the next time we see him is in episode 4, I want to see why he's still just in the desert when he knows that the sisters and everybody are still kind of after him. And I want to see how the Jedi, along the path are making it to the point where we have, Jedi returning in episode 7, 8, and 9. I want to see him still piecing the way for Grogu. I feel like there's a lot that could be added to build on what we have for Star Wars, rather than this is a cute story of Obi-Wan getting his freak on.
Sure.
So I'm basically just saying you're wrong, but go ahead.
Wow. Okay. Well, listen, I just want to see two Jedi naked for the first time. Forgive me.
We got shirtless.
Wanting to see that happen.
Sweaty shirtless Anakin.
But also, no, I do think you have a good point there, and also I think it would give an opportunity to see how.
We also got the naked stranger. We got the naked stranger in Acolyte.
Oh, that's true.
Kamir goes swimming naked.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And Yord, he's shirtless as well.
Yeah, not the way I'm.
And Kylo Ren.
24/7.
Well, I imagined everything that I needed to just by seeing those few clips.
It's all
So in my house, there were 2 naked Jedi.
Stimuli for a stimmy guy. I'm going to go now.
Continue.
No, I definitely think you're right. And I think it would also give an opportunity to see Obi-Wan and how Obi-Wan knows where Yoda is,
Yeah.
When he's like, you must go to the Dagobah system. Maybe he visits Yoda for a little bit,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that it can provide more lore and backstories that you were talking about.
Yeah, I want to see it's Solo, a story that we didn't need, but boy, did I love that it added to it. We got to see how Han and Chewie met, something that we didn't need. We got to see how Lando and Han met, and why they feel like they don't like each other when Lando is first introduced in Empire. And yeah, I want to just continue to build on 4, 5, and 6. And people say, oh, the galaxy's bigger than Luke Skywalker, but there's a central story here. And I mean, not for every galaxy, but for Earth, I mean, we've got a history that everyone's involved in one way or another. And there are central points that we all know, even though we don't live in a certain area, but I think that there's a way to bring Ewan in for season 2 of Kenobi that can lead to why we're getting the Mandalorian, why we get that story, why Moff Gideon is there, how Palpatine is building this clones of himself, how we get Snoke. There's a way to bring Ewan McGregor in, who's going to draw Star Wars fans in, that can build to make 7, 8, and 9 bigger movies and have the stories more important to Star Wars as a whole. There's a way to fix fan problems, toxic fan problems, not our fan problems. Our fan problems is we want to see Jedi naked.
And that's not a problem. That's a solution.
Yeah.
The problem's very deep down within us.
I'll drink to that. I wish I had a drink. Oh,
I know. I was expecting you to. There you go. Yeah.
I still have a capped, not Four Loko, Smirnoff Ice
God,
in my trash can from when you were here in June.
Yeah, June. Yeah.
Wow. I should probably take out my trash.
You probably should.
Yeah.
The hoarder situation you got going on. There's probably
that's the only thing besides this stuff behind me. The only other thing in this room is a trash can with a Smirnoff Ice in it. There's nothing else in this room. No, obviously there's more stuff in the room. You goof. You've stayed in this room.
I know. It's that pile of trash you're just sitting on that slowly rises up.
Yeah. Yeah. Each episode, I'm just like,
It's like a joke chair. You know, one of those joke chairs that
oh,
just
yeah.
rise up slowly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want Ewan McGregor in Star Wars. I want to see him again. I didn't care for the Kenobi series. I'm also not a huge Clone Wars person, but I felt that the last like few episodes were incredibly strong, and that's something
Mhm.
that I really loved. I'm not going to tell people to not watch Kenobi. I'm not going to shit on it by any means. It just wasn't for me, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to get Ewan McGregor back, I'm going to be selfish, and he's going to build either little pieces between now and in Kenobi to Return of the Jedi, or he's going to build to Episode 7, and Kylo Ren and all this stuff. I mean, I feel like that's a good way, a healthy way to work on the franchises, to build on what you already have and to continue to make it stronger. I think that we've talked about the Acolyte a lot, and this was actually supposed to be the Acolyte episode, but we decided against it because we've talked about it enough. There's ways to create something new and still sprinkle things in, but if you're going to create something new with a very well-known character, try to build up on other stuff while also giving us something new.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I mean, you got Bothan spies. You got things with Ahsoka. I'd love to see more of her backstory. I think the second Death Star is always kind of like, it still has that a bit of mystery to me.
Yeah.
That, I think like what's really kind of engaging is like, I mean, I'm sure that eventually this will be discussed at length, but in a TV show or a film about the Bothan spies and like this little espionage kind of double cross, I just think is really cool. And to see the Emperor briefly win that,
yeah,
is really cool.
Tales of the Rebellion.
Yeah.
That'd be, I would love an animated, 6 episodes talking about Second Death Star, Bothans, all of that. Because also at this point, we've got Mon Mothma, we've got Andor, we've got Ahsoka, she's still alive. We have Cal Kestis. There's still a lot of other stuff that we have in Star Wars that could be brought together within a second season of Kenobi.
Yeah,
I'm all 100%. About it. That's all I have for this.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think we can agree that we both would like to see him in some form. And yeah, I'm excited for whatever form that is.
Beautiful.
Well, may the Force be with you, Dylan.
And goodbye there with you.
Thanks.